So let me explain why this is so crazy. And when you're doing vibe coding, why you really have to be careful and you have to rely a lot on tests. So what this does here is it's a startup script, or it's the actual application. When you're trying to start this Flask application, this block of code is what's going to run first. So all I did is went to cursor and I said, if I need a Flask application that uses a MySQL database and tables that do this and that. And it created everything. It did everything pretty good on the first shot. But what it did is when you start the server, it creates a database and it creates tables, then it starts the database, but starts the application. But the problem is the create database is fine, but the init tables, when you look at the init tables, which is basically creating tables, the first thing it does is delete existing tables. And that is crazy. That's ridiculous, right? Because you're going to have to start the application many times, right? You're working on it. You might have to kill the server and start it. Your computer might restart. It's just a common practice. You start the web server. The application starts and stops and starts and stops. And every time you start, you don't want to delete everything in the database, right? Because you might have some test data. You probably created the app, you run it, you write some data into the table. Now you kill the application and you start it again. You want all that data to be there. 99% of the time you want it there. But this is doing, basically is deleting it. If it exists, delete it. That is crazy. So all you needed to do is not have this. The create table, if they don't exist, would have been good enough. So if they exist, leave it alone. But if they don't exist, create them. That would make sense, right? That's how I would have designed it. But even the fact that it's doing a database setup at the start, I don't like that at all, right? Because database setup happens once. The first time you run the application, it happens, but then you're going to restart the app many, many times. You're just going to continually restart it. Every time you restart it, you got to go check if the database exists. I think that's an overkill, super overkill. But this one was a major, major bug because I basically ran the application. I downloaded a bunch of data into it, and the next time I look at it, it's not there. I started investigating. What I asked cursor back to, hey, this happened. What's going on? And I saw that it was trying to clean this up, and I'm like, whoa, I need to share this because this is crazy. All right, my name is Adam Kung. I teach QA automation and software engineering in test. Make sure you give me a follow and check out the bio.